I'll try to do a video with an update on some of the Black Moscows. This is a breeding tank I set up yesterday of some of the nicer looking ones. I selected the males with the nicer fin shape. They look a little bit lighter colored in this water with the LED light overhead, but that should change once I adjust the tank. You can see I selected some longer fin females, and I also have a couple of really long female dorsals in this one, like this one here, and that one's going to be a long fin one. Now this one looks a little bit bluish, dark blue, but that'll darken up once adjust to the tank. So I have some water sprite in the tank, and I've had this line for a long time, since about 2007. I don't do any crosses with it. I've kept it pure, but I do have three, like an A, B, and a C line that I separated when I first started getting babies out of the originals. So they're related, but not 100% related as I cross them in. So these are some Luke Roebuck full reds growing out. These are the last of them that I have. The other two tanks, they got older and kind of crapped out. But these are looking good, and they got a nice full red color. So I'm really looking forward to having to find tanks to put more of these in. These are some more of the Black Moscows. This tank, see now this is what I mean by I have related but unrelated lines. This one I only get females with dorsals with this shape. I don't get the really long fin females with them. This one's a little close. That might get bigger, but I get extended dorsals with the other tank that I'll show you. So that would be this tank. And you can see already this one's got a little bit longer dorsal. And that one's got a nice long dorsal, but of course it's way in the back. So these are all doing extremely well. They do have really tiny babies. They're jet black. You can almost mistake them for waste product in the tank when doing a water change. Till they move, generally the waste doesn't move. Sometimes, depends what they eat, I guess. So these are doing excellent, and I'm gonna have to probably split a few more out of here because it's okay for now with this tank, but there's really a little bit too many fish in here. And let's see, a couple other things I can show you. These are the Black Lace Snakeskins, and these are Mike from Mikey's Boiled Fish Room likes these, but he doesn't have any. He's not getting any. And there's look at that. That's something just for Mike. Anyway, the tails are growing real nice on these. This one was the one I showed in the last video where there was no tail color in the back. And if he gets away from the plants, you can see that the tail is filling in. So the father of these fish was that one in a prior video that was like a black and tan, almost a black and gold. Black and tan, which is a great beer actually. And these males are not getting that color. They're more like a black and silver, which I guess they're both chasing this female. So it's going to be a work in progress. I'd really like to keep it going with that black and tan or black and gold. So another tank of them. And I don't have too many tanks of these, just a few. But really impressed with this. I'm going to keep the line going. And I do get a few males that are develop some red. Because the initial cross was a red lace snakeskin to a Black Moscow. Like this one's getting a little bit of reddish at the edges of the tail, lower and bottom. So I have to keep them in there because I don't have enough males. So I'm going to probably cull him once there's some more males growing out. This is the one that didn't have the color all the way to the back of the tail. Because with these fish, the tail grows and then the color goes in later. But these are nice. I have one other tank of Black Moscows down here. These are the tank of the ones that were culls, and I ended up with an albino female. So I culled each male for a different reason. This one has a crappy body. That one's like a 3/4 black, as is that one. That one's not so bad, but I pulled him out to put in with the albino female. So I can't quite tell if she's hit yet. Doesn't look it, although there are babies in this tank. And there's also some like disgusting green algae that keeps growing because of the really high intensity LED light. But it's the first time I've ever gotten an albino out of a Black Moscow tank. Very unusual, because like I said, I haven't crossed mine except for related lines, you know, from the originals that I got. So it's really unusual, but I pulled all these out of a different tank than the 3 tanks I showed you. And yeah, so far, we'll see what I can do. Otherwise, I normally really wouldn't keep a tank of culls, but some of the ones, like I mentioned before, that were a 3/4 black have blossomed into a full Black Moscow. So anyway, they're doing really good. This line is coming back real well. The Japanese blue double sword firetails. They're more like an orange, which I guess is why he called them firetails instead of red. I have another small tank in another room that I've done across. I'm on the 3rd generation of that, and I crossed a full red to a one of these males. Well, the prior generation of males, and I actually have this same coloration but a darker red, real nice red. So that's something to work on. And one of these males I'm gonna have to cull out. So I just noticed his tail has the extra little piece in it in the middle. This one is gonna have to go. That's not good. So there's a lot of little babies in there. So I have only 3 or 4 females, and they have babies like clockwork every 28 days. So there's quite a few babies at the top. But it's a nice line of fish. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if these are 100% guppies or if these may have been a prior Endler cross. I don't know enough about them, and I've really only seen 1 or 2 other people that have them. So I don't know if people know what the heck they are. So I'll try to do some more research and see. But they're doing well. The metalhead is red bluegrass with the swallowfin female. They're all doing great. Also a lot of babies in here to where I'm going to have to take the original ones out soon. But that female is kind of spectacular. That's really nice. And the Black Moscow fire cross thing I did, they're doing great. They're the gigantic females, and the male, if he feels like turning to the side, which maybe he will, maybe he won't. There we go. It's a very nice coloration. I like that. And these females are truly spectacular as far as the size, length, and shape of those dorsals and tails. So anyway, that should cover it. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.